Child support, I really don't get into political situations or things like that. But I do want to talk about child support. I have custody of my son, so I've been on both sides of having to pay child support, which is I wasn't put on child support. It's a law in a certain place where I'm from that if the mother get any type of assistance, you can live in the house, same household or whatever, the father still going on child support, the dad still going on child support. A couple years back, in the place where I'm from, they hurt a lot of men. I heard a lot of men that was, married in situations with their family and things like that. They can break up a home. So in my situation, not to speak too much on the other party, but I'm speaking on me and my situation. By me having custody of my son, I look at it at the time that I did have to pay child support for the same son that I have custody of, but it was 2 different states. In that state that I was living in at first, I was behind like $230. Had to go to court. That's like a month, like $230 is a month. Had to go to court. They set me down, put shackles on my feet, had me in handcuffs because I ain't had the $230 at the time. And yeah, $230 I ain't have it at the time. You feel me? Kind of young, making around decisions. But hey, we all do it. They took me to the back. It was me and a couple more people. They took me to the back, little room. You get to make a phone call. Don't nobody come, pay that amount, whatever amount you got. By the time court date is over, they finna rise you. That's one experience that I had dealing with child support before I got custody of my son. And I've been in his life since day one. A next situation is when I got my son. Now I'm in the other state. But I'm still on child support for my son in the other state. But I had to have my son a whole year before I got custody. When they finally told me, oh, you got custody, got the paperwork. Yes, it's joint custody, but at the same time, man, mine is almost like full custody if you really want to know all those situations. But we ain't gonna talk about that right now. But anyway, I was still on child support. I had my son. I called the state that I was from, and I'm like, hey, I had custody of my son. I've had him this amount of time. They told me to send the paperwork over, things like that, because they were still taking child support out while I had my son. And I'm in another state, like how y'all still taking money from me? I'm not going to speak on the other party or their situations or where the money went. I know I ain't get it. So what I was told was I had to file a civil suit to get the money back that they were still taking from me from the other party, even though I had custody. So I'm like, I got to file a whole lawsuit for that little money? Like, come on, man. Like, nah, I've been through it. But I don't think that is fair. Because on the flip side of that, let's talk about me having custody. Boom. Get custody. I let them know I don't want child support. Y'all can have the money. The state I'm in is a great state. I love this state. Because one thing they said, if you got their child, they got to pay anyway. It don't matter what you say. Like, they got to pay. So, I was like, cool. The amount they had to pay, I ain't gonna speak on that, but it's about 2 states. The one's out of grocery store, not out of Roof Chris. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Listen, I had to go to court so many modifications filed and this, that, and this. No secret, because by now it's public record all these times. This is valuable information. Let's just say if the other party saw something that I posted on Instagram or the internet on social media, I have a modification in the mail, or I have investigators in my door for situations just popping up like I don't know. So that's what you gotta watch out for, slick situations like that. Only way I would be able to fight it is because I would always have a child support card that was empty. I ain't trying to go to court, so let me just do something so I know I'm gonna keep my son. Like, let me just do something so I know. Let me just make it even. So that's what I did. One thing I can say, when you're dealing with child support, it ain't even. Because out of all these years, so many chances been given. But I know when it comes to us, even me, I had shackles on my feet. But look at what I'm doing now. The whole situation, I turned it around and got custody of my son right after that. I'm not a political person, and I don't get into politics or anything like that. I'm talking about my experiences and me saying something that somebody did a lot of time for not being able to pay. And I'm looking like I had shackles on my feet for them same situations, because people had ups and downs. And I've been in my kid life. But I know in them same situations, that person got a slap on the wrist so much. It's not defamation of character. The world know. It's public. So, you know, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what your opinion is, what you think. How do you feel about child support and taking care of the kid? I know we're at the end and it's been a long show, but let me give you my opinion before we go. And I said a lot. I said a lot because I know it's times that I ain't had no money, but I had my son. I was there. And I know for a fact it was times that I ain't know where the next dollar was gonna come from, where the next meal was gonna come from. I couldn't call my, hey, I need this, cause relationships, they ain't there. The other one I ain't met. So, you know how I feel. And don't just take $1. Take them sacrifices. It take time. But you gotta wanna do it. You gotta wanna be there. If you don't wanna be there,